What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching the very first episode of a brand new LP project. The game in question today is none other than Quest 64. An interesting game in many different ways. We're gonna hop right into this game, but before I do that, I do want to point out real quick that this is a Nintendo 64 game, and much like Ogre Battle 64, it kind of suffers a little bit from graphical issues. I've managed to fix almost all of them, but you might be able to see here there's a little bit of a pink outline on the text. That's basically the only issue that's still remaining at this point, which is pretty good if you ask me. So here we have a little bit of an intro, which I honestly didn't actually know was even here, and I really don't care. Yeah. So just start off by starting a new game. One of the things you'll notice about this game is that the plot is kind of superfluous. I guess I'm worried about my father. But how's that even possible? Like, I guess it's possible if a human wasn't the one who wrote it. Day of grief, huh? Then why are you sending me? I'm like 8. Okay, so this is the game. This is our fellow Brian, and this is the door out of the room. So our first order of business here is to kind of explore the monastery a little bit. And in this room we discover one of our greatest enemies throughout the entire game. The camera. It's kind of terrible. That wasn't the best example of the badness of the camera, but there will be plenty of those the further we go on. You'll also notice there are a lot of rooms in this place, even just already, that are completely pointless. Really? You're gonna be that explicit about your instructions? It's not hard to memorize if I just stay put, like... Well, I guess it doesn't actually tell you which is which. But anyways, as he was saying, there are 4 elements in this game. And that leads to one of the best parts of this game. It's the fact that you can choose which element you want to strengthen. So it leads to having a bunch of different ways that you can actually play through this game, which is interesting. A lot of those, well, maybe not a lot, but at least some of those ways don't actually end up working long term. It just ends up being like completely impossible to actually beat the game. And some methods are clearly superior to other methods, but we'll get to that more later on. Now in this hallway, we see it's probably one of the game's biggest weaknesses. Have no delusions about Quest 64. It is not a great game. And that is the fact that almost the entire game is exceedingly empty. You see, there's all these rooms here. You can go in and look around, but there's absolutely nothing in them, which is kind of just discouraging and all that. Thanks for that. And that's the other thing. Even when you do find someone to talk to, they very rarely have something that's actually worth listening to. Now I know there's a chest from one of these rooms. I'm pretty sure I checked this one already. Is it really in this one? Apparently, there is not a chest in any of them. Okay, well that's kind of strange. Maybe I was thinking of something else. No, whatever. It's not that big a deal. I'm honestly not too worried if I miss a couple of things here and there, because for the most part, I mean, items are not the most useful in this game, so they can come in handy, but I'm going to be able to get through the game perfectly fine with or without them. For the most part. I'm gonna need a few. Got some more dewdrops. And in here we got some more dewdrops. 3 dewdrops. Okay, well, I don't really care too much about dewdrops. I mean, they might come in handy. So the way this works is if you hit the R button, it brings up a menu that has a list of all your items. Pretty simple. You can see dewdrops recover 10 MP. And this inventory system doesn't work too well, because eventually you get a ton of items, and it just ends up requiring you scroll the thing like a bajillion times to find the item you're looking for. And in general, MP recovery items I don't find are all that necessary. I'll get into that more later. For now, we're just gonna continue searching through this monastery. Honey bread that restores HP. And that is much more important than MP restoring items. Especially at this point in the game, when nothing has actually happened yet. And I'm fairly certain there's nothing of interest down this way. Might as well take a look in here. There's a dude here. Serious. Okay, if you say so. I like this little portrait here. It's got the elements on it. Fire on the top, water on the bottom, earth, or water, wind to the east, earth to the west. I don't know why I couldn't think of west, but whatever. So, we're done exploring the monastery. Just gotta head out these big doors. And we are out in the world. The first thing we want to do is head over to the west. Or not the west, but the left. We're actually heading east, as you can see from the compass in the top right. And that compass is going to be one of your best friends in this adventure. So right here in this hay bale we find an element, and I want to assign that to water. So the way elements work in this game is throughout the game you can find spirits that just look like little wispy clouds of smoke, sort of. And throughout battle, if we go to our status menu, you can see we got this little thing here, and near the bottom it says 0%. As you fight battles and kill enemies, this little, I don't know what it is, this circle in the middle there will fill up, and when it gets to 100%, you will, I guess, learn a new spirit. And you can assign that to any of the elements you like, just like if you found a spirit. And as you power up a specific element, you will learn new spells associated with that element, and you will also become more proficient with the use of that particular element. I think there's some things, in particular I think just your normal physical attack is also affected by like the number of spirits total you have. So if you have like 50 fire spirits and 50 earth spirits, that's going to be more powerful than if you had 50 fire spirits, say. Just purely hypothetical here. So we have a little bit of a town here, and I believe this is the first place we want to visit. White Wings. So, pretty much every major city in the game has a place with this little sign outside of it that will give you a set of wings. And they just let you teleport back to that town. So it's fairly important to pick those up. You'll see places like this pretty frequently that have a little place where you can rest up. I don't need to rest up, so I will not be doing that. This is also where you go to save, although you can only save if you have a memory pack in your Nintendo 64 controller. Or if you're playing the game on an emulator and you use save states. So, if we head up here, I believe, way the heck back in this corner. Aha, yep, it's there. This is a spirit. If you didn't get a good look at the first one, this is what they look like. I'm going to set that to water as well. Now somewhere in this village there's a baker or something who will give you, what's it called, honey bread? Or no, they give you fresh bread, don't they? I was gonna say they give you fresh bread if you don't have any. And that I can actually take advantage of that because I have fresh bread, but I don't seem to have fresh bread, so maybe I can find some. Or maybe there just is not a baker in this village, which wouldn't be super surprising. I guess there isn't. Oh well. Most villages have one of those where if you don't have any healing items of a particular kind, they will give you one, just to kind of make your journey a little bit easier. So now here we are on the world map. You can see this is the area we're in, the Holy Plains. And we have to make our way over to Dondoran, which you can see down there in the southwest. And we will make our way over there on the next episode of Let's Play Quest 64. Catch you later.